is a multitude of echoes, meaningless until individualized. Join us now as we recall just a few of those echoes.
On that last play, Bob Mitchell broke through and really clobbered Unverferth. The Iowa offensive backfield, Snook, Kimball, Norse, and Noonan.
Iowa's got it! Iowa recovered the ball! Number 84, Lou Williams, has just made the second recovery of the afternoon.
I'd like to see the bruises on Unverferth's arm, I'll tell you that. Williams must have stole the ball away from him because two Ohio State players were laying on it. He's over the ball at center. Noonan goes to the right. The ends are in tight. Deuce backfield. Snook takes the snap. He's rolling to his right. He's got a lot of time. He throws upfield to Noonan. It's caught at the 48-yard line. He's down there immediately. A beautiful reception by Carl Noonan.
The 1964-65 basketball season brought the usual number of disputed calls by the referees, the partisan crowds, and a number of last-minute victories and defeats to the Hawkeye fans.
Minnesota on attack. Rogers seals it away. Rogers to Jones. Jones wanting a jump shot is good, and he finds the score. The clock is running. 23 seconds to go. 79-79. Rogers comes down with it. 2 seconds. 1 second. Thrown it away. A shot up by Hudson is no good. A whistle blows, and they're going to call a foul. Let's wait and see. A foul is going to be called on Dvorak. A foul is called on Dvorak. And Iowa will shoot a free throw. Iowa can win the ball game, 79-79. And it looks as though Fred Riddle will go to the line. Timeout. Wait a minute, what are they going to do? Now they've reversed their decision. Now, what in the world is going on? One official called a foul. And after a long conference, they've decided to take it away. And we're going to have an overtime, it looks like. Well, we've had everything, as I said before tonight. We've had some pretty strange calls, and here we go. Yes, it is. They're resetting the clock.
It will be Iowa's ball at midcourt. Banaszak, Jimmy Rogers, Chris Burvall, George Peoples, and Gary Jones in the Iowa lineup. Again, this Gutty Ball Club tries to come back as they have been all season, and it's Jimmy Rogers at the middle of the court. Rogers whirls, moves to the near side, gives the ball to Jones. 20 seconds left. Now there are 19 seconds left. Rogers to Gary Jones. Jones delays. Heaves the ball back to Rogers. 81-80 the score. Now there are 10 seconds. Jones breaks into the corner. Now there are 9 for ball turns. Jumps, shoots it up. Got it! With 6 seconds left, Chris Burvall has got it. Ohio State takes timeout with 3 seconds left, and the Hawks lead at 82-81.
The Iowa Memorial Union is considered by many as the center of the extracurricular life on the campus.
All right, I'm a realist, not an idealist like these people over here. So I happen to know a little bit what's going on. Now, first of all,
And when Sally Stage showed up, there was no red soapbox, but a note from a group who signed themselves the Rogues, to the effect that they had stolen the soapbox and were holding it as ransom until I shaved my beard.
Good afternoon, Director's Office.
I say, quite frankly, that's the position I take. We are right. I do consider our system to be better than theirs, and that we should take whatever action is necessary to defend it. And I don't consider that to be any heresy.
It wasn't funny, but there was an incident in which one couple was sitting over in the corner completely oblivious to the fact that there were 2,000 other people dancing all around. They felt that they were absolutely private, and the Dean of Women was upstairs watching them from the balcony.
Among other things, as you notice, this kind of light is unfair to somebody like myself who has not shaved for 3 days.
I think the role of the union on campus is primarily to provide facilities for faculty, students, and guests of the university in areas of recreation. This recreation, of course, includes educational and cultural levels, not only the basic recreational facets of games, etc.
Good evening. This is Larry Barrett speaking from the main lounge of the Memorial Union, where this evening the University of Iowa Symphony Orchestra honors the visiting composer, Elliott Carter. Tonight's program will include 2 pieces by Mr. Carter and the violin concerto of Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky.
Good laugh. Okay, Ron. Rails first.
Spring vacation. Attend the Spring Hootenanny and Folk Festival tonight. Talented student entertainment will be provided. Bring your friends to a casual and enjoyable evening at the River Room in the Memorial Union. Starting time is 8 p.m. tonight. Admission, 25 cents. Attend the Spring Hootenanny sponsored by town men and women.
Also, if Southeast Asia falls and we have a war, you guys over here are going to be the first to go.
Would you please take your feet off the furniture?
One of Union Board's most popular events is the free Sunday night movie in McBride Auditorium. Those in attendance are a hardy breed, prepared to withstand the often faulty sound equipment, frequent film breaks, and a temperamental projector which occasionally frustrates the operator to such an extent that he has as his only recourse to give the machine a swift kick to get it in running order.
Although there is no shortage of the fair sex at Iowa, incoming frosh do on occasion have a little difficulty getting that first coke date.
I've been asked to announce that all men who aren't candidates are supposed to leave. All men who aren't candidates have to leave. It's an announcement from the counselor's office, otherwise I wouldn't make you go.
I see you a lot of times in Schaefer Hall Study Hall, you know, during class and everything like that. I'd like to know if you'd like to have a coke date with me.
Oh, gosh, to tell you the truth, I'm really snowed under with studies and stuff till vacation.
Yeah, you got a lot of tests coming up.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It really is. Good evening, Tri Delta.
Is Linda Winberg here?
This is Linda.
Oh, hi, Linda.
Hi.
This is Steve Rubin. You got phone duty tonight, huh?
Yeah, who's this?
Steve Rubin.
Who's that?
I see you all. I don't think you know me. I see you all the time over Schaefer Hall Study Hall. And I'd like to know if you'd like to go on a coke date.
Well, I don't even know who you are. How old are you?
I'm 18.
What year? Freshman?
Yeah, I'm a freshman.
I'm a senior.
Oh, you're a senior, huh? I passed for about 35.
Oh, is that right? Where are you now?
Pardon?
Where are you now?
Well, I'm calling from a phone.
Where?
I see you every once in a while at Schaefer Hall Study Hall, and I'd like to know, if I could get a coke date with you. I'd like to meet you.
Well, I'm pinned.
Oh, you are, huh?
And I'm practically engaged.
Oh, well, okay, I guess that's strike out. You sure you won't? You sure now?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Hello?
Is this Barb?
Mm-hmm.
Barb, I see you every day in Schaefer Hall Study Hall. My name's Steve Rubin, and I'd like to know if you'd like to have a coke date.
Well, I'm married.
Oh. Well, can't win them all, can I?
No, I don't think so. Sorry.
Oh, okay, thank you. Goodbye.
I'm sorry. The number you have reached is not in service in Iowa City, Iowa at this time. If you need assistance, please hang up and dial your operator. This is a recording.
Our friend the frosh can find a date, but often his lack of experience in knowing the right place to go results in this late evening conversation in front of Burge Hall.
Harry, you really tucker a girl out in the gold feather room. I don't know exactly how to say this, but somehow you made the mammal hall come alive tonight. I've been there before. I've walked through it, but somehow with you. No, Harry, we can't kiss after that. It seems, oh, I don't know, animalistic somehow. But I loved every minute of it. Next time, fine, but what would you say if we double? I'll fix you up with my roommate, and we can kind of take it from there.
The university and its community annually acknowledge those who have achieved
Sue Mockridge tapping now for mortarboard. Sue taps the girl who has been active in AWS Freshman Council, in the Young Republican group on the campus, in American Field Service, chairman of High School Foreign Students Weekend here on the...
Dr. Johnson's 17th law holds that everybody should listen to everybody a little. What are the great dilemmas? They are to nourish human freedom and to strengthen human individuality against all the built-in odds of our changing society.
On the Senate, she's a member of Mortarboard and has run the gamut of activities from the Hawkeye and the Iowan to the Spring Festival, Union Board, and you just can't find an area. And I think all of this, coupled with the compliment of her co-workers, makes Judy Ann Skalski a real choice.
Unfortunately, or fortunately as the case might be, there were no fraternity advisors back then. We found 19 such men, but the one chosen to represent the 19 and all Greek men for 1965 is Mike Schiavone.
A new chapter of the history of Iowa was begun with the inauguration of Howard R. Bowen as the university's 14th president.
I should like particularly to express our gratitude to the Board of Regents for its continuing efforts to keep in touch with the faculty. We are delighted to have a president who is at home in the library and the classroom and who knows at first hand what a professor means when he speaks of academic freedom.
In Dr. Bowen, we see a man with whom we can easily identify. He shares our interests and perspectives. At the same time, he presents an image of dignified and dynamic leadership.
66,000 graduates of the University of Iowa have been represented in the selection of the man we honor today.
In congratulating the citizens of Iowa and the students, faculties, and regents of their university, today's inaugural honors them, for it commits their university to the guidance of a leader whose many contributions to the advancement of knowledge are intimately involved with the service to his fellow man.
I believe that all of us sense that at this critical time in its development, Iowa is at the threshold of many advancements. We need the best leadership that our society can provide, and nowhere is good leadership more essential than in the field of education. No state in the Union is more richly endowed than Iowa. With its God-given abundance of natural resources and its industrious, hardy breed of people, there is no reason, then, that we should not attain the highest reaches of our potential here in Iowa. A great university is a place where you learn to reach for the stars. This is a great day for the state of Iowa.
On the other hand, there are dangers in growth. There is one danger so great that I wish to make it the central topic of my address today. This is the danger of the submergence of the individual. I propose that in all our plans, we fix our attention on the goal of preserving and promoting individuality. Let it be said in 10 or 50 years that the University of Iowa is a place where the individual counts, where each student, each faculty member, each staff member is valued as a person. The only conformity the university requires is loyalty to the search for truth.
Howard R. Bowen, by virtue of the authority vested in me as President of the State Board of Regents, I hereby induct you as President of the University of Iowa. On behalf of the Regents and of all the people of Iowa, I vest in you all the powers and obligations of this office.
As was the inaugural historic, the model UN rambunctious, with its director Steve Teichner receiving the award for the spirited control of the restless delegates.
Let the chair make it clear at the outset. The dilatory obstructions of the chair will not be recognized. I swallowed that, didn't I? May I warn the assembly that the delegate from Albania's time started when he reached the podium.
The equitable solution we propose in the question of the immediate restoration of the rights of the People's Republic of China in the United Nations.
Order in the House! The chair recognizes the delegate. There were irregularities in the voting that the delegate from Cuba cannot refrain from raising 3 to 5 signs at a time. He will be ejected from the assembly. We will redivide the House again. Sergeant of Arms! Sergeant of Arms! Sergeant of Arms! Bulgaria, state your point.
If this is so, how come you voted as United States delegate in the Secretary of Committee meeting?
We have some order, please. Sergeant at Arms, remove that man from the assembly, right there.
For many, the highlight of the musical year is the annual Christmas concert featuring the combined orchestra and chorus under the direction of Dr. Daniel Moe.
Station 18, Warmer, Australia. The date 6/3/03/05. Pre-pass calibration for 1962 Beta Tour. Rev number 1019. Predicted time.
A number of Iowa faculty members are known throughout the world as experts in their academic field.
During the last 5 years, we've built a series of satellites here in our own laboratory, which is the only university in the world that has done this sort of thing, called the Engine series of satellites. We've had now 3 successful flights. We're preparing the construction of the 4th unit at the present time.
Naked there in the sun, the little boy whining for one more kite. I scream, I am not ashamed. And yet, this evening, at the hot window, I felt that the horrible sun had set not in the sky, but here on my consumed hands, still burning from their final touch of you.
thing in the world. The thing we need most is to have more understanding among people. We don't like to face it, but husbands and wives and children, parents and teachers and students seem so often to be reaching for each other across a hopeless gulf. For years I've been trying to help the students in speech pathology training program try to learn to know what it can be like to understand a person who can't talk well, who stutters, or who has some other barrier to communication. And I remember the people I find it hard to understand myself. And among them are the students. They talk normally, you see.
When the snow melts, the young man about campus retreats with his female companion to the banks of the flooding Iowa River. Often the area is overcrowded with other couples, and when the campus gendarmes make a pinch, the great masses on the bank find glee.
Oh, Frank. I am not in the mood to do this.
I know that light isn't a UFO. It must be an officer. Hello, officer.
The size of the university and its growing pains bring to the students all sorts of problems.
Dear Sir, the records of the Police Department of Iowa City, Iowa indicate that you have failed to answer summons for our parking meter tickets. If you fail to appear at the Police Department within 1 week from the date of this letter, I will be compelled to file a charge against you for failure to appear to answer a summons and have a warrant issued for your arrest.
Since I understand there are 2 policemen here, all they would have to do is set up a barricade at the back, and these streets would be open for parking between 12 foot. I mean, putting automobiles.
Some of us think that there is a maximum size of university beyond which growth should stop, and I happen to think that some number like 30,000 may represent the maximum for this university, considering its traditions and considering the size of the community that we are in. So I am hoping that gradually the undergraduate enrollment will stabilize at perhaps 17,000, and that the graduate and professional enrollment will stabilize at something like 13,000. And I was astonished to find out that according to the best figures I have, we will need about 8,750 rooms for single students in the next 10 years, and about 2,750 places for married students. This makes a total of over 11,000 student housing units that will be needed in the next 10 years. This means a building of more than 1,000 a year.
However, those who find fault with its size should not confuse the numbers involved with the available individualism.
By and large, the university is only as large as a person within his own mind makes it. And if he wishes to engage in activities, get acquainted with faculty, administration, and other personnel in the university, certainly the road is open to him if he simply seeks us out.
A University of Iowa junior from Chicago Heights, Illinois, has been elected the president of the university student body for the 1965-66 school year. The new president, William Parisi, won by more than 500 votes.
Indicate your interest area in order of preference, 1, 2, and 3. Entertainment, decorations, public relations, publicity, and fundraising. In what areas have you qualified yourself for project aid sub-committee work? What goals do you have for project aid? Have you ever alienated anyone by being on the Gorham Judiciary Board? Have you ever aligned with the wrong student senate political candidate? Did you go to the computer dance?
Students discover that a great many activities are open to them on campus. Those who attain leadership positions within these groups soon discover that there are often problems that one does not find in the classroom.
Hello?
Is Kathy Barney there?
This is she.
Kathy, you probably don't know me, but I'm on the Executive Council on Judiciary Public Relations Committee for the Spring Festival.
The what committee?
A club of about 400 people. It's very tough to get 400 people all working together actively on a project. And this communications and activation aspect of our club is the biggest problem. We have
the responsibility of taking over when a chairman fails is part of the responsibility of general chairman or president of anything. You realize that you're going to accept the burdens if someone else fails.
Within our own, in the guise of a person who is in maybe 2 or 3 different activities, each of which requires a great amount of time to be done correctly. But if you more or less back these people up against a wall and tell them either you work for me or you get out,
it's sort of touchy at times because my brother's dating Diane Smargy, who's secretary of the Iowa Conservatives, and so we really get into some interesting times. For instance, I remember the first party that she went to up at my place. We spent about an hour before the party decorating with pictures of Hubert Humphrey, so she'd really feel at home. And it was an interesting evening.
Well, I think most foreign students come to Iowa principally for 1 or 2 departments: the creative writing program and the hydraulics laboratory seem to draw most of them, and then there are a lot of people in different subjects, but by far the greatest proportion are in engineering. Well, I imagine one of the biggest gripes that foreign students have when they come here especially is perhaps the food, especially if they live in the dorms. This seems to be the big thing that
The biggest problem with the book exchange, I believe, is finding workers. And the kids either don't know enough about it or you can't get hold of them at the time you need them to work.
One of my pet peeves is people that do something and do a good job at it and then don't bother to keep a record of it so that the people next year don't know what the heck they're doing.
Oh, I think it's always peevish when people are given responsibilities and agree to do them and then fail to live up to their responsibilities. This makes working with the group much more difficult and a little bit less enjoyable.
Yes, we were out there from 4 until 5, and in that time we walked. This was in front of the Iowa City Post Office, as it's the only federal building in Iowa City. And people walked back and forth in the usual picket formation, as well as singing and chanting and things of this nature. More people involved in various types of civil rights activities. Of course, having been in Mississippi on the summer project last summer, I suppose I feel more strongly about it than many would. But I'm glad to see as many people as, for instance, as many people showed up today.
Each year, a number of new groups make their debut on campus.
And problems concerning just the sort of journalistic trade approach. None of the people on the staff of ARENA have had any training, official training in journalism, and so we had to sort of start from scratch. And
anybody is eligible to join who is affiliated with the university, whether faculty, staff, or students. It was originally designed to be a student group, but we have broadened our scope to include the faculty and staff because our ultimate purpose is the advancement of the sailing sport at the University of Iowa, and anyone connected can join and participate in our club.
One of the newest organizations on campus this year is the Town Men, Town Women organization. This consists of all the students living in off-campus housing, whether they are single students or married students.
Increase the student understanding of legislative development on the state government level. And the program is designed to give students continuous contact with the legislative and political processes.
McBride Auditorium is the largest lecture hall on campus. Here, both university professors and visiting lecturers stimulate the student with a wide range of both subjects and viewpoints.
Now, nationalism, then, it seems to me, is certainly one of the most profound, elemental feelings of modern man. And in order to understand his behavior, we should try to understand what it's all about. One of the problems of nationalism is that it is basically an emotion, an emotional force. It's sort of like, it's pretty hard to get up a lot of go-go hawk spirit, except on Saturday afternoon. If you don't feel like a complete idiot, if you go with a large group of people like yourself, sit in a freezing stadium and watch 22 young men chase each other around after a $3 football. You stand there and scream your lungs out and get very nationalistic about Iowa, kill 'em hawks and trample 'em hawks and murder the badger and all the rest of it.
As a moderator of tonight's meeting, I can promise you that this will be one meeting where Ron Zobel will not get to ask the first question.
Mississippi, ladies and gentlemen, is in fact the greatest states' rights state there is in the whole American Union. I told the gentleman tonight I sincerely believe that outside of our way, that Mississippi has been first in more accomplishments than any other state in the United States. Well, what is it? What's one thing? Well, I said, did you know the first Coca-Cola ever manufactured in the nation was He said, I never heard of that before. I said, did you know the first can of condensed milk ever manufactured in the nation was manufactured and delivered in Mississippi? Well, I never heard of that, he said.
The weekend brings some respite in the studying of the student. A wide variety of social activities offer various forms of relaxation and entertainment.
Pizza, go on.
Hello, I'd like to order out a pizza, please.
Okay.
Could you give me your flavors?
Okay. We have sausage, beef, pepperoni, ham, salami, mushroom, tuna, shrimp, green olive, green pepper, anchovy, bacon, and onion.
All right. Could I have a half and half?
Uh-huh.
All right. I'd like half sausage and half green pepper then.
All right. What size?
Do you have small and large?
We have 12-inch for $1.25 and 14-inch for $2.
For $2. All right, I'll have the large, please.
All right. Anything to drink with it?
Yes, could you send 2 Budweisers?
I'm sorry, we don't handle beer.
All right, then 2 Pepsis.
Okay.
And a package of Luckies.
No cigarettes either.
All right. The name is Nadia Howard.
How do you spell that?
Howard.
Howard? Okay.
And the address?
The information to Town Crier, KAAY, Little Rock, Arkansas. We've got a great $silver souvenir standing by on Tiger 10.
Try.
Well, tell me, who's the squirreliest guy you know?
Mike.
Any guys ever asked you out here, Gladys?
Oh, plenty.
Huh? Make sure you get her.
Sure, plenty. I don't know. We have plenty of wild things going on in here, I'll tell you that. Well, I think the airliner's the nicest place in town because the waitress has so much personality.
And they're so cute.
And they're so cute.
And they stand me up when I ask them out.
And for 8 weeks, the most popular movie of the year. The echoes of old gold come from not only the Pentacrest, but from the Iowa City Merchant as well.
I would say that probably our best-selling items for students would be the variety of, rather than anything in particular, a student will need things like shirts.
They want college-type clothing or traditional wear. They are in an atmosphere here that calls for this type of dress. We can go, 20 miles to Cedar Rapids and find the dress entirely different. I mean, we're...
Put on your name, your address, and your student number. Make it out to Whetstone and put in the amount that you want.
But this weather is the worst we've seen since I've been at Bremerton 20 years. The student at the University of Iowa has a reputation, I would say, and the University of Iowa campus of being probably one of the top 2 dressed-up campuses in the Big Ten, if not in the Middle West. I don't know if that's up to credit to the Merchant in Iowa City or credit to the student himself down through the years. But this is a very, very good, well-dressed campus, we feel.
Definitely is. For a town this size, there's more men's stores than I'd say in 90% of the towns in the United States. In contrast, there's 8 men's stores in this town, downtown area, in contrast to Cedar Rapids, where there's only 1.
The students are very important to us. We're right across the campus. We have merchandise for the students. They come in to get warm and buy complete outfits. We love them.
Oh, Clay Ewing. I've been shining shoes and shorts for 13 years.
My name is Virgil Kelso, and I've been working in shorts here for 9 years. And I've seen a lot of people come and go. Sometimes we shine as high as 55 or 65, 85 pairs of shoes apiece between my buddy and I. And the way the weather is now, it's kind of slow.
The students are very important to Iowa City in general, not only in retail, but in any business. The faculty and all of those that are employed by the university are also just as important to us. Like I've always said, if you take the university, student, faculty, etc., out of Iowa City, then you can put a fence around it and call it a state park.
Thousands were shocked at the death of the university's recently retired president, Virgil M. Hancher.
Said, after leaving the campus, he began an entirely new life of service in the Far East, where his vision and wisdom can bring fresh hope for the future to people who are shackled by the past.
One of the saddest things in life is to see a man begin some worthy venture, revealing great promise, and then to watch him founder into failure for lack of courage to push on through frustration and disappointment. As an educator who has watched those who have been here in the last 20 years, I can testify that those who do well here at the university are not always those who come to us with the most brilliant high school records or those with high scores on their entrance or qualifying examinations. These things indicate to us only the ease and ability with which a given student may do college work. But whether he achieves or not depends on another quality for which we have not been able to develop a scientific measure. I refer to that most important characteristic, perseverance. But like so many of the finest things in life, this quality of perseverance does not come easily or automatically. It comes through practice and hard work and sacrifice, and its acquisition is never easy. Just as some students never reach graduation, and some men never find a respectable profession, trade, or calling, they give up because the trail is too long, too hard to find, or too rough and too dangerous. They fall back into an easier path, but one that leads eventually to failure, frustration, and disillusionment. But to those who are willing to push on to a good ending, the rewards are rich and satisfying. As you start on this old Capitol Trail today, I hope that each and every one of you will learn this aspect of scouting well, and that you will find the fine and wonderful things that lie ahead for those with courage and determination. Fellow students, with calculated intent, I address you today as fellow students. This has been your status for the last 4 years or more, and some of you may be looking forward to release from that bondage. I urge you to give the prospect a second thought. Although you are to graduate today and in a few moments will have your degrees, you should remain students and learners for the rest of your lives. If this university has not created within you a desire for a lifetime of learning for its own sake, it will have failed in one of its principal obligations. I am not so much concerned about the environment, what the environment can do to you, as I am about what you can do to the environment. I said a moment ago that I would like you to be students for the rest of your lives. This is true in many senses of those words, but in a special sense, I would like you to be students of yourselves, of your potential, students of that greatest of undertakings, the building of a great human life. Rather, education, as Whitehead has pointed out, is the acquisition of the art of the utilization of knowledge. This university has been a pioneer in many fields of human learning. Why should not you, its graduates, be pioneers and leaders? Has it ever occurred to you that this university might become the greatest university in the world? If not, why not? Must the distinction always be reserved for Oxford or Cambridge, or Harvard or Berkeley, and never for Iowa? Must this state, with its small population and limited wealth, look beyond its borders for greatness? Athens, with fewer people and less wealth, left its lasting imprint on the world. So did Alexandria, so did Florence. It was not their size and wealth that made them great. It was the vision of their people. This is the kind of vision that I crave for you. May you possess it today, and may it last as long as life itself. Today we, both you and I, stand at the threshold of a great adventure. Much of your life is before you, much of mine is past. But I like to believe that the world always beckons to the young in heart. And if that be true, my heart tells me that I can join you in hope and courage as we face the uncertain future. To you who are young in years, and I hope young in heart and spirit, I offer my felicitations. I salute you, one and all. Hail and farewell.